Brother Paul, we're going to look at a few issues that I have indicated or made note of in terms of that might be of importance to the Christian community here, as to understand maybe some of the views of Barack Obama. I think a lot of people might have been blinded by the fact that Obama was a black man, and maybe did not pay attention to necessarily any of the issues that came about.
You're correct, Brother Julian, on the point. I'm not sure, not cutting you down. You know, that just on Tuesday, sorry, when I went by the Guardian, in order to pay for the last week's article, I was questioning the lady who's in that department about some of the things, some of the viewpoints that Obama hold that we're going to discuss today. She was not aware of that, and that's why I was empowered by the Holy Spirit today to take a different shift from our regular programming to deal with a special program on what's happening, what is Obama really all about. And a lot of people, I'm telling you, they don't know, they're just so happy that a black person have rise to this occasion, because most people of African descent, this is a victory for the black people, but it's more than that. The Lord is in the business of doing these things, and like I said earlier, only the Lord can fix the problem. Yes, these world leaders have been put in place by Him to see what they can do to have a little bit of stability and peace and order around here, but still, with all these things in place, things can continue to go haywire.
Just to reiterate, some of the issues I'm going to look at, ladies and gentlemen, today is issues that we believe we might have some interest in. There's some other issues like taxes and other policies that are really more American. So we're going to look at some of the policies as that we could relate to and understand, maybe have a better understanding of what should and should not be done. But Paul, does Barack Obama believe in sex education for kindergartens and high school students?
Yes, Brother Julian. And this survey, this guide we're looking at today, it came from the Christian Coalition webpage. If you go to the Christian Coalition webpage, that'll be www.cc.org. That's www.cc.org. And they give a voters guide to all the Christians. Just before our election, I think it was last year was our election. Some of the Christian pastors also put something together for our politicians and a survey sheet or a check sheet, more or less, to answer to see where their heads were, how they were thinking. And yes, according to this voters guide that they handed out here, according to sex education from children from kindergarten through to the 12th grade, John McCain, who was running against Obama, he opposed that. Barack Obama, he supports that. He supports sex education from kindergarten to the 12th grade. If I understand right, kindergarten starts from age 5. Here in the Bahamas, at least, or maybe even younger.
Yeah. Grade 1 started grade at 5 years old.
Okay,
so kindergarten
is even younger than that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Brother Julian. So, I mean, is this something you think the school should be doing, or do you think this is something parents should be doing? I think parents should be the first ones to teach their children about sex education. As a matter of fact, God created sex. But if the school is teaching it, if we hand our kids over to the school, I mean, it's been brought to my attention in the United States of America, I stand to be corrected, that they're even now teaching kids in the school about homosexuality and stuff like that.
That's correct.
You see, so how far does sex education go? You see, so it's very important that if this thing should be taught, I can understand it being taught in the high school. So hopefully by then parents have already sat down with their children and let them know, hey, this is the way God made one man for one woman and stuff like that. So just something for you to think about as you meditate about some of the issues that Obama holds to his heart.
But on that, Brother Paul, person may be asking, okay, what importance does that have to do with my Christianity or my salvation if they teach sex education in the school?
Like I said earlier, Brother Julian, some schools are teaching kids right now in the States that it's okay to have same-sex relationships. You know what I mean? But is it okay? And that's why I say, what all comes in the nutshell of sex education? Is it going to be the biblical way? It's going to be the way of most people think today. Even Christians and non-Christians think that, hey, one man for one woman, one woman for one man. Even non-Christians feel that way. The majority of us, that is. So when you give the school the right in order to teach sex education in school, you need to be what are you going to be teaching my kids? I mean, I need to know this so that they're not being taught confusion. And the Bible way, the biblical way is one man for one woman for one man, and just so by we can be fruitful and multiply. And being fruitful and multiply can't come from two men or from two women being in a relationship together.
What about abortion? I know a couple of years ago in the States that was a big topic. You don't hear too much about it in the Bahamas, but what about abortion, Brother Paul?
Well, one of the things about abortion that I found very interesting is, according to this survey sheet, it says the question was asked, parental notification for adoption for minors, right? Now, according to this survey, parental notification was supported by John McCain. It is opposed by Barack Obama. Now, if I understand that correctly, what I understand from this is, and I stand to be corrected once again, is if Brother Julian's daughter come to me and say she want to be really in the States, because this is for the United States, this is not for the Bahamas. If she comes to me and say, Brother Paul, I'm pregnant and I don't want my daddy to know. Based on what I understand here is I don't have to tell Brother Julian, based on if this ever become law. But Barack Obama said the minor child don't have to. I don't have to. The parent don't have to know. Don't have to be notified that their minor child is having an abortion. I mean, the doctor don't have to bring this to the parent's attention. Brother Julian don't need to know this. I mean, is this something we really want? Would you want your daughter or yes to come to me and say, I want an abortion, and you being my friend, I don't have to tell you? You don't want the doctor to call you up on the phone and tell you that your child is about to venture off into an operation that is even detrimental, that people that died at the hands of abortion. So I want you to think along these lines, but as people say, oh, Barack, Barack, hurrah, hurrah, what are these men are really standing for? I mean, how much parents are on that side? Would you really want it to be notified? Or as far as you're concerned as a parent, it's none of your business?
Another one is, what about adoption? I know in Florida and California there was some discussion about this topic, allowing homosexuals or same-sex couples to adopt children. Well, how does Obama feel on that?
This is another shocking one for me too, Brother Julian. As people, all around the world are supporting Barack Obama. But when this question was asked, or on their stance of how they feel about it, John McCain opposed allowing an adoption by children of homosexuals. Believe it or not, Barack Obama supports this. He supports homosexuals adopting children. I mean, do you feel the same way, my friend? I mean, if you were Barack Obama, if you were the president, would you allow your children, would you, let's say, God forbid, I should die, me and my wife, and it so happened that God give us an early resurrection, what he would not do. I mean, it's his will. And we come to find out that our kids were adopted by same-sex couples. I mean, they're living with two men or living with two women. Is that something you would want your prime minister or your president to be in favor of? Well, according to the survey sheet, it was opposed by John McCain, but it was opposed by John McCain, but it was supported by the viewpoints of Barack Obama.
Brother Paul, another one too that I think is somewhat gaining momentum here in the Bahamas, and that is, or not gaining acceptance here in the Bahamas, is allowing the government to sponsor or fund Christian organizations. How does Obama feel about that?
This is another shock. I mean, Obama being a Christian, he opposed that. He opposing the allowing federal funding for faith-based group or charitable organizations. I thought this was something he would have been in favor of. Not that I feel as if the church should run to the government for financial support, because whenever the church went to the government for financial support, by all means the church should find out where these funds coming from. I remember I attended a town meeting a few years back, when a town meeting dealing with gambling right here in the Bahamas, and one of the gentlemen that was in charge of the town meeting from the PLP government side, who was in charge of gaming, he said some of the contributions that government gave to churches to help them with their charitable events came from gambling. He said these monies arrived from taxes from the casinos. And I was one of the churches of the Bahamas aware of that. I was shocked. I was taken aback that these churches are accepting money from these, and maybe the churches in the Bahamas might not know that. But that was what they said at the town meeting. We should get a copy of ZS, was there recording that meeting that night. I'm sure they have that tape in their archives, that the PLP government leader who was there chairing the meeting, he said the tax money that are allowed to help churches are coming from revenues from the casinos.